You're watching the Western Athletic Conference. It's here on ESPN. 5 tickets have been punched to WAC Vegas, the Western Athletic Conference tournament coming up in just a few weeks. These two teams are still trying to get there. It's the ACU Wildcats at 7 and 9, playing host to the Southern Utah Thunderbirds at 5 and 11. WAC basketball on a Thursday night. Welcome into Moody Coliseum on the campus of Abilene Christian University. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. We have 2 weekends left of WAC basketball. 4 games remain on the schedule, and these two teams, ACU and Southern Utah, still trying to get to the conference tournament. Work to do. They'll be on the same court here tonight, Matthew.
Yeah, Andy, last time these two teams matched up, it was an exciting finish. Southern Utah coming away with a win, 82-80. Peyton Hall scoring 27, Ava Urich putting up a career high of 25. This will be an exciting matchup down the line.
As we look at the conference standings, ACU in the 6th place spot. A win tonight secures their ticket to Las Vegas in 2 weeks. Southern Utah right behind at 5 and 11. They'll play the majority of that bottom side of the conference schedule here in the next 2 weeks. Some work to do for the Thunderbirds. Matthew, let's look at our impact players. You've mentioned them already. It's a battle between 2 freshmen, Peyton Hall for the Wildcats and Ava Urich for Southern Utah.
Peyton Hall has had a breakout season so far for the Wildcats. 15 points per game on the season, shooting 35% from the three-point line, putting her at 2nd in the WAC for three-point percentage. And then on the other side, Ava Urich having a similar breakout season, 46% from the field, 7 rebounds per game, 13 points per game. This will be an exciting finish.
They will be entertaining to watch, as will the entire game. And the third member of our crew tonight, it's Courtney String, courtside. Courtney.
Thanks, guys. Southern Utah is coming off of a loss against UT Arlington, which can be very frustrating considering how much is on the line with the WAC tournament only being a couple weeks away. ACU is also coming off of 3 back-to-back losses. These two teams in their past history have played against each other twice with a split of 1-1. I cannot stress enough how important this game is because only the top 8 teams get to go to that Las Vegas tournament. I'm excited to see how tonight's game plays out. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. That game for Southern Utah versus UT Arlington was 8 days ago. It was last Wednesday, the last time the Thunderbirds were on the floor. They did not play over the weekend, so they've had 8 days to rest and prepare for tonight. This is a crucial stretch for the Thunderbirds at 5 and 11, trying to get to Las Vegas. For the Wildcats, it's 7 and 9, a 3-game losing streak, but a win tonight, and ACU is on their way as the number 6 seed, or the 6th ticket punched, with 8 of the 11 teams headed to Las Vegas in just 2 weeks. 4 games left, 2 weekends left. This Thursday, Saturday, and then next Thursday, Saturday. This is the final home stretch for the Wildcats. So play Southern Utah tonight, and then Utah Tech on Saturday for the Thunderbirds. ACU tonight, Tarleton on Thursday. That's a big one for the Thunderbirds. But first things first, 40 minutes on the clock here in Abilene. It's Banks in the center circle with Martin. WAC basketball on a Thursday night is underway. Wildcats win the opening tap. They're in the home whites this evening.
The question for the Wildcats tonight, can they play through their freshman guard, Peyton Hall, and can they control the glass and light it up from the three-point line? We'll see.
You see the 5 on the floor to start for Julie Goodenough. Earl, Hull, Martin, Jackson, and Traeger. A Wildcat team averaging 71 a game. That's best 4th in the conference. Zoe Jackson will get the Wildcats started with a deep 3 from the top of the key.
Hand down, man down. Zoe Jackson takes that 3, and Ava Urich not stepping up on that one.
Lord, Banks, Belina, Johnston, and Urich, the 6-foot freshman again, our impact player, averaging 13.1 a game. Belina comes in at 15.5. That's good enough for 5th in the WAC. The first shot tonight from Urich falls out. It's a Southern Utah bench that is very thin due to some injuries this year. Jackson, another triple. Zoe Jackson, who's only made 12 threes all season long. She's 2 for 2 to start, and the first 6 go to the home team.
Only 25% on the season, but that's the perfect way to start the game if you're Zoe Jackson, and if you're Coach Julie Goodenough, you love to see that from your guards.
Johnston to try to answer, and she will. Samantha Johnston, the 6-foot senior, she's in double figures, averaging just over 10 a game at 10.2.
and 33% on the season for her. And that's not somebody you want to leave open if you're the Wildcats.
Hull, her first jumper, baseline, short baseline, comes up empty. Lord the board. ACU at 71 a game. Southern Utah at 67 a game. Here's good transition. Banks will finish. Opportunity for a three-point play.
Good read there. And the transition. Here we see Banks coming down, or Belina coming down and dishing it off early, 2-on-1. Getting the and one, finishing through contact. What a strong play there from Ashley Banks to keep her composure.
The 6'5" sophomore. She'll be the tallest on the floor for either team. This is a game again that Southern Utah won in Cedar City a few weeks ago, 82-80. The Thunderbirds led by double digits 2 different times. Jackson a third triple, too strong this time. Led by 11 2 different times, once in the first half, once in the second half.
And Zoe Jackson was open under the basket right there, but that pass just hit the rim. It's a little too low.
The last 5 have gone the way of the visitors. They have a chance for their first lead tonight. ACU came all the way back after trailing by 11 in the fourth. Took a late lead before Southern Utah scored the final basket to win 82-80. Chance to run for the Wildcats after the turnover. Hull will attack. Traeger the trail, another triple. Martin an offensive board and a putback.
Martin did not play in the last matchup against Southern Utah, and already we see her presence being felt. She's gonna be a difference maker here, especially on the glass. Great putback there to convert on that possession.
The 6'1" sophomore at 10.7 a game. As this one is tapped out of bounds. Here's a look at the head coach, Tracy Mason. She's in her 6th season. She is the reigning WAC Coach of the Year after leading the Thunderbirds to their first NCAA tournament a year ago. WAC regular season champions last year at 16-2. Then they won the tournament in Las Vegas a year ago, trying to get back this year. Belina, big time shot from the left wing. She's got her first triple. Good pace here in the first 4 minutes.
Big shot from Belina there, and again, 40% from three-point line for her, and not somebody you want to leave open. Got to close out.
Bella Earl, shot fake, a spin, and a bucket for the junior at 12.5 a game. Bella, a deep breath after that one. Bella really struggled in Cedar City. 0 for 7 from the field the first time these two played. Just 1 point in 33 minutes. So nice early field goal for Bella, the junior, to get things going. Urick has been quiet, just 0 for 1 thus far. Now a bad pass. Jackson one-on-one with Belina. She'll attack. Traeger the trail and the putback.
Great job by Traeger there, not giving up on the play, sprinting down the floor, getting the rebound, and getting that putback. That's the second offensive rebound and putback that we've seen from the Wildcats today.
One and done for the Thunderbirds on this trip. Martin a step through, and she'll finish with a left hand. It's a 6-0 run.
Good move there from Addison Martin. Taking what the defense gave her, going to the middle, and finishing with their offhand. That's tough to stop.
ACU's hit 4 of their last 5 field goals to build the 6-point lead. Urick a spin. Earl got a hand on it.
Tough take there from Urick. Maybe want to move the ball around a little bit more before that shot goes up.
Here's a pass. Tapped out of bounds. Quick first 5 minutes. Up and down the floor we go. Wildcats on a 6-0 run. They've got a 6-point lead. WAC basketball on ESPN+.
The Fieldhouse, where the goal is better. Whether it's body composition improvement, athletic performance, mental fortitude, or quality of life. Better looks different for everyone. With the help of our qualified staff, we will be there to guide you, to keep you accountable, and to help you recover. Whatever better looks like for you. Come see us at the Fieldhouse, 1609 Conwood Street, right off the Treadway.
Doctors and nurses are the foundation of healthcare, but it takes people from all different backgrounds, experiences, and education with unique talents and skills to fulfill our mission of providing high-quality healthcare, emphasizing excellence and compassion consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. Join our team of educators, nurses, accountants, pharmacists, environmental service techs, transporters, and more. Be part of something that matters. Be part of the mission. Apply today at hendrickhealth.org/careers.
Great up and down pace our first 5 minutes tonight. ACU has an early 6-point lead. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. Matthew, let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game.
Yeah, Andy, for ACU, quality possessions and maximize their depth. Can ACU limit their turnovers, get under 16 turnovers, and then use their depth against Southern Utah? Southern Utah does not play that many players. Maximum, they play 8 players. And then for Southern Utah, they need to play with a postseason mentality. Each game is important. They need to win the rest of their regular conference games. And then number 2 for Southern Utah, they need to play from ahead. In their last matchup versus UTA, Southern Utah had to play from behind, fight and scratch and claw to stay in that game, and that made it tough for them to win that down the stretch as they fell by 8 points to UTA. So can Southern Utah get that momentum early? We will see.
Trailed by 17 at the half. Great inbounds play here. Peyton Hull to Gracie Wernley, the 5'9" freshman who had just checked in, immediately scores. That's good point production. A few seconds in and 2 points. Emma Troxel also on the floor. She wears number 24. This is part of the depth we're talking about here, Matthew. The bench tonight for ACU can play big.
And a great shallow screen there. A little flare screen to get the freshman open. And that was a dime of a pass to find the freshman on the block.
Only 10 in uniform for Southern Utah. There's a look at Julie Goodenough, the leader of the Wildcats. She's in year number 12. Of course, the 2019 NCAA tournament team. Back in the Southland Conference days, this is the 3rd year here in the WAC. Southern Utah just their 2nd year in the WAC. The WAC regular season and tournament champions in year number 1. And a bump on the outside. Charlie Kay, number 5, 5'9" freshman. Picks up the foul, little bump there on Bella Earl. Yeah, again, just 10 in uniform for SUU tonight. They've battled injuries throughout the year. Megan Smith, their leading scorer at 16.2, is out for the year. She has not played since December 30th. Jaden Brown, the transfer from Utah Valley, also not playing this year. And Tamika Whitman, who was on the preseason All-WAC team, has not played all season as well. So Tracy Mason's done a great job with this team with 3 key players not in uniform. Banks fouled. She'll go back to the charity stripe for the 2nd time here in the quarter.
Good take by Banks there. A nice little roll. Gets the ball, stays composed, doesn't get the charge, avoids that, and gets to the free throw line for her team. This is a really key offensive possession here for the Southern Utah to convert. Down 8. They need to stay in this game. They need to start playing from ahead like we mentioned earlier. They need to start stringing together a few defensive stops.
Banks, the 6'5" sophomore from Boise, Idaho, coming off a double-figure game. She had 13 points, 8 rebounds in that game versus UT Arlington last Wednesday. Did not score versus the Wildcats first time they played, only played 3 minutes. But scores 1 or 2 at the line. That stops an 8-0 run. Earl runs the point this time. Southern Utah will play man about 95% of the time. Wernley left side gets to the paint. 10 on the clock. Size advantage, has to kick it out. Troxel's first triple, and she'll rattle it home. Emma Troxel, the 5'11" freshman.
Big 3 from Emma Troxel. That makes ACU 3 for 5 from the 3-point line in this first quarter to start this game. What a fast start offensively. And Coach Julie Goodenough cannot be happier.
ACU averaging 8.5 threes a game. They've hit 15 plus in 3 different games this year.
ACU 8th in NCAA Division I basketball in 3 points shot per game. And then obviously 17th in the nation in 3 points converted per game. So this is a team that shoots high volume and converts a lot. And it's going to be a key for Southern Utah to see if they can limit the number of threes that go in the basket.
Alexa Lord, a bucket on the other end. She gets the defensive rebound, one and done for the Wildcats. Belina cut off by Wernley. Johnston picked up by Troxel. 10 on the clock.
Good
pick
roll.
Pick and roll. Nice catch, and Banks finishes at the glass.
ACU hedging that screen a little bit, and Southern Utah made the Wildcats pay there on the good roll.
Hull a three left side. Still scoreless, Peyton Hull. Already 6 Wildcats in the scoring column, but Peyton has not scored yet. A great pick and roll, though, as you mentioned here.
Right here you'll see Addison Martin trying to come up and hedge. A little late on the rotation. Peyton Hall, weak side, did not slide over to help. And that led to a perfect textbook pick and roll. What a beautiful play.
Banks already with 5, only averages 5.5, so good start. Belina shot partially deflected. Jackson back in at the point. Hull gets her first breather tonight. Jackson got the scoring started. Back-to-back threes on the first 2 possessions. Wernley a drive, contact, and free throws coming for Gracie Wernley.
Strong attack there by Tracy Wernley. Right here, getting the contact, absorbing it, almost converting the and one. What a good start from her today. Obviously, first few seconds checking into the game, getting 2 points, and not being afraid to attack. This is where, in the second part of the season, the freshmen aren't really freshmen anymore. They're experienced. They have a whole season under their belts almost. And she's playing like it right there.
And Gracie just missed the first free throw. It stops 23 consecutive makes from the charity stripe. 96% at the line this year. It's a 1-for-2 trip. And 3 early points for Gracie. She'll get a breather. It's Peyton Hull right back in. Just her second miss from the line all season long, that first free throw.
Talk about efficiency.
Yeah.
As a coach, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of all the free opportunities that you get.
There was no broadcaster jinx prior to the free throw attempt. I want that on record. Urick is back in. She's got it top of the key. Between the legs dribble and a jump stop. Falls off the front of the rim. Urick's been quiet to start, has not scored yet either. So our 2 impact players still scoreless, Hull and Urick. Minute to go here in the first.
1 minute.
Oh, Earl up and under. Missed the first. Out to Troxel from 10. And Emma's got another jump shot.
Great job there by Bella Earl, not giving up on the play, getting yet another offensive rebound, and making Southern Utah pay for not boxing out on the glass.
Urick again works with Troxel. Skip pass, Charlie Kay. 5 on the clock for Johnston. All sorts of out of sorts, and it's a wild shot. They'll allow play to continue. Well, there's the whistle and a shot clock violation. I thought the officials were going to let it play out. However, a shot clock violation called.
Strong defense here on the pick and roll. Her dribble got caught there behind the screen, forced into a tough shot. Great job by the Wildcats.
Final 10 seconds in the first quarter. Chance to get a double-digit lead. Hall with a drive. Got it to go at the buzzer. 7 different Wildcats in the scoring column in the first 10 minutes. ACU, the home team, they've got an 11-point lead. WAC basketball's here on ESPN+. And back to Abilene. Beautiful Leap Day, February. One more day for March Madness. We had to wait one extra day. Happy Leap Day to you. 24-13 ACU. Peyton Hull, a nice finish to the first quarter.
And this is a high-level play at the end of the quarter here from Peyton Hull. Getting the ball in the high post and just going to work one-on-one. This is a prime example of Coach Julie Goodenough trusting her playmakers, and letting them go make a play, letting them go get a basket at the end of a quarter. What a beautiful play right there from the Wildcats.
ACU shot 10 of 17 in that first quarter, 59%. Southern Utah 5 of 11, 45%. They're in quarter number 1. The Thunderbirds, the first possession here in quarter number 2. Try to go inside to Banks. Ashley Banks had a nice first quarter, led the way with 5 points, 2 of 2 field goals in the first 10 minutes. Zoe Jackson scored the first 6 for ACU. She's the leading scorer still at this point with those 6 points. Urick, a scoreless first quarter. She's got it between the rings.
ACU in a little 2-3 zone action here to come out in the second quarter to try and mix things up against Southern Utah.
Give Johnston a look, and she'll rattle home her second 3 of the first half. 6 points now to lead the way.
That's one of the disadvantages of switching to a 2-3 zone, especially when you're playing a team of shooters like Southern Utah, is you leave the perimeter undefended for the most part.
Their third triple in the first half. They hit 10 versus ACU in Cedar City a few weeks ago. 82-80 Thunderbird win. Here's Traeger with a drive, and Banks has the board.
In that first quarter, Southern Utah was out-rebounded 10-4 by the Wildcats, so a good sign of life there to see Southern Utah cleaning up the glass.
Johnston drives on Earl this time. Martin to pull down the board. One trip of a 2-3 zone, and Julie Goodenough went back to the half-court man-to-man, and that look.
And this is something that they do all season. They'll throw in different defensive schemes to try and mix up opponents to keep them guessing and keep them on their toes.
Traeger long, Banks another board. Ashley Banks, one of the better names that I know. You know what 90s sitcom had a character named Ashley Banks?
Which one?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There you go, Ashley
Should've known.
Banks. Will Smith's cousin, Ashley Banks.
Little throwback Thursday for...
Have to train you youngsters about good television. Johnston, 6 on the clock. Belina, look at a 3. Great box out, Martin. Traeger will save it in. One and done again. No second chance points yet for Southern Utah. Already 14 points in the paint for ACU. And 8 points off the bench. Troxel with 5. Wernley had 3. Here's a foul on Banks. A little forearm in the back of Martin. No real foul trouble. We don't anticipate foul trouble, especially for Southern Utah. They do not foul much. Troxel back in. His whole inbounds on the baseline. Martin will go to work with Banks. Up and under. Got it to go. Great footwork, Addison Martin.
Textbook move there, showing shades of Akeem Olajuwon, maybe a little bit of Nikola Jokic on that move to stay concentrated and get the bucket.
She's got 6, right back. Urick has her first 2 on a putback. And the first 2 second chance points on the offensive glass.
Good job by ACU thus far, controlling the boards, controlling the lead in this game for the most part.
Martin another touch, goes with the left hand. Too strong this time.
Credit Addison Martin there, not letting the size really face her, just a tough miss off the glass.
Well, we are playing fast here in the first half. A lean on a backdoor cut. Missed the first, reestablishes. Johnston, a quick trigger. Left that one short, her first miss. Banks another board and whistle at a jump ball, I believe. Another look on the inside, Addison Martin.
Good post up here by Addison Martin. Faking one way, pump faking, 2 steps, not a travel, almost a travel, but good finish there and good footwork. You can tell that she's been working on that in practice to finish that layup.
Lord a touch, out of Urick. Johnston will fire again. But a second chance opportunity again. That's back-to-back possessions. Urick with an offensive rebound. She's starting to become more involved.
ACU back in a zone look here in this possession.
Lord, the short baseline misses, banks back up and in.
And that's the picture of relentlessness from Southern Utah. Back to back to back offensive possessions, not stopping until they converted, and it ended up working out.
Banks on pace for a double-double. 7 points, 4 boards already. Troxel with a left hand, whistling an offensive foul.
Take a look at Ashley Brooks here, not giving up on this play, just ripping the ball away from Addison Martin and using her size to her advantage, converting that offensive putback. And the Thunderbirds are right back into this game, only being down by 6 with halfway to go here in the second quarter.
They've outscored ACU 7-2 here thus far in the second. Johnston a jump stop. Chance to run here for Hull. Martin to work on Urick this time. And Urick wins the battle. Now numbers here for Southern Utah. Tough catch, Lord. Thunderbirds will set up the half-court look. And a foul on Troxel on a reach in. It's a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes now here for the Wildcats. Just 2 points in the quarter.
And maybe one step late and playing a little too aggressive there by Emma Troxel. And they'll pay for that with a foul. And they're in.
Johnston, that three all the way down and pops out. Johnston on the year at 10.2. She's averaging 16 over the last 8 games. So not afraid to pull the trigger. She misses the last one. Earl goes coast to coast, and she'll go to the line and shoot 2.
We take a look at this replay here. A quick trigger, but a great job. You don't really see it in this angle. A great job of pushing the floor here from Bella Earl, going coast to coast, drawing the foul, and getting to the free throw line. And against a Southern Utah team, like we mentioned earlier, that doesn't really foul a lot. So they're taking advantage of these opportunities and doing a good job at that.
Earl, the junior, Denton Guyer High School. They're in the DFW Metroplex, playing in her 80th game in a Wildcat uniform tonight. 1 of 2 at the line. Substitution here, we'll see Meredith Mays, the freshman. 6'2" freshman coming in for the first time. Bixby, Oklahoma.
Meredith Mays, 18 points in the last matchup versus Southern Utah. Obviously, she stepped in for Addison Martin, who wasn't playing in that game, but she's a very familiar face for the Southern Utah squad.
Belina, drive by, blow by Jackson, and finishes at the rim.
That was a smooth move from Belina there. Nice little Euro step at the end of that one to get to the right side of the basket and finish.
She's got 5. Troxel a 3, left corner, buried it. Emma Troxel, just 5 points a game. She's only scored in double figures 3 times this year, but she's got 8 here in the first half. A perfect half from the floor at 3 for 3. 2 of those are triples. 8 points for Emma, 8 points the lead.
And that's the shot that you want to get from the Wildcats, is a kick drive and kick out 3 in rhythm.
Timeout on the floor on a beautiful night in Abilene. Wildcats hanging on to an 8-point lead here halfway through the second.
Doctors and nurses are the foundation of healthcare, but it takes people from all different backgrounds, experiences, and education with unique talents and skills to fulfill our mission of providing high-quality healthcare, emphasizing excellence and compassion consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. Join our team of educators, nurses, accountants, pharmacists, environmental service techs, transporters, and more. Be part of something that matters. Be part of the mission. Apply today at hendrickhealth.org/careers.
Welcome back to Moody Coliseum. The score is currently 30-22 with ACU over Southern Utah. Southern Utah is coming from a loss against UT Arlington, which can be frustrating considering how much is on the line. Southern Utah player Delani Belina led the way in the Thundercats game last week after scoring a team-high 21 points of 18 of 16 shooting from the field. This marks the senior's 4th surpassing 20 points in a game this season. Delani says she remains consistent by doing what's best for her team, saying she is a team player and will do anything to bring home the win. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. Yeah, Belina's been around a long time, her 4th season in the program, playing her 104th game in a Thunderbird uniform, and has really had to carry the load with the injuries we talked about. Megan Smith, one of those not in the lineup anymore, but Belina 5th in the WAC at 15.5 points a game, 7th in the WAC in assists. That tells you the kind of player she is. She can score, she can distribute too.
Yeah, and those are the players that lead programs, and those are players that are vital to these teams. Are players like Belina who, yes, they can score whenever they want, but they can facilitate an offense, and they can use their talent to the success of the system.
Wernley a triple out of the break. She's back on the floor. Ashley Banks also back in. A short breather for Banks. She's been so effective in the first half. 7 points, 4 boards. Troxel leads the way with 8 for the Wildcats. There's Belina. Left that one short. Wernley the board. Claire Graham is in for the first time. She wears number 23. Whistling an offensive foul call. Meredith Mays, the foul, clearing out space for Bella Earl. She got caught.
Yeah, and these calls are always so subjective. They're very bang-bang as we take a look at that there. And that's a really tight call, but the right one as Meredith Mays gets punished.
Urick to Banks, top of the key. 12 on the clock. Belina. Johnson will have to fire as the shot clock running down. It did skim the rim. I thought it did. They have not reset the shot clock. Hey, coming up at the half, there's the boys, Joseph and Roman upstairs. They'll have our first half analysis. Courtney will talk to Coach Goodenough before the break starts. But Roman and Joseph upstairs. Looking good up there, boys. They'll be with us at the half. As Belina gets a shot off with less than a second on the clock, missed it. Cole, a transition 3. And Earl a second chance.
That was a heads-up play there by Belina to just get a shot off and just a little alley-oop action out of the inbounds.
Troxel, another look. Martin tries to save it, can't quite do it. A lot of contact between she and Urick. What possession will go here to the Thunderbirds?
And in this stretch, it's very important for ACU to close this half with momentum and not let Southern Utah creep back into this game. And if you're Southern Utah, it's the exact opposite. You got to string together a few defensive stops and get a few buckets before halftime so they can take this momentum to start the third quarter.
Urick a triple, too strong, and out of bounds. We were tied at 8. Halfway through the first, Wildcats went on a run. Built an 11-point lead at the end of the quarter. That's been their largest. Earl will try to get it back to double figures. And ACU, who started hot from deep, now just 4 for 12.
Heads-up defensive adjustment there from Southern Utah. They've been switching these screens and playing under, and that's an adjustment right there to ice the screen, basically giving up the sideline, and that confused Bella Earl on that one.
Urick strong, Lord an offensive board. And Southern Utah has evened up the rebound after being dominated in the first. They've dominated the second. Urick another offensive board. And a foul here as Banks up over the back of Troxel.
Ashley Banks gets another foul, and that's her second on the game. If she gets in foul trouble, there's going to be a big problem for Southern Utah and a big gap on defending Addison Martin. That's going to be a question that'll have to be answered if Ashley Brooks continues to foul.
Coach Mason will leave Banks in with the 2. She's the only player for either team that has 2 personals. Martin will go straight to work against her with the 2 fouls. And there is a whistle, and I believe Banks just picked up her 3rd.
And just like that, Ashley Banks picks up her 3rd foul, and this is a clear point of the game plan from Coach Julie Goodenough. Obviously, Ashley Brooks has given ACU problems offensively and defensively, so what's the solution? Attack her and limit her minutes. Great job on the execution there from Addison Martin.
First trip down the floor with Banks and 2 fouls, and Martin attacks. The Wildcats a great job of just recognition to get the ball down to Martin on the inside. Martin, a 59% free throw shooter. And now whistle, and I believe a technical foul has been called as well. And I think Tracy Mason, the head coach, just picked up a technical.
That is something that you cannot have.
Well, this will be big because Martin will get her second free throw. Then the Wildcats will get 2 technical free throws and then possession of the basketball as well.
These are the moments in games where momentum really shifts. What was an 8-point game, and before that a 6-point game, now has the opportunity to turn into a sizable double-digit lead.
Peyton Hull will come to the line and shoot the technicals.
Up.
And then again, possession for the Wildcats. After a 2-for-2 trip for Peyton. Martin has 7, Troxel with 8, Jackson has 6. Hull now with 4. Banks leads the way still with those 7 points, but again, 3 personals. And again, not much depth here for the Thunderbirds. Earl on a drive, left side.
That was just too easy from Bella Earl. One step, no change of direction, getting to the basket with their left hand. What an explosive play to increase this lead to 13 points in 1 possession from the Wildcats.
Largest lead of the first half now here at 13. It's an 8-0 Wildcat run. Tough catch over the outstretched hand of Lord. It's a turnover.
In Southern Utah, that's just their 6th turnover this game, and then obviously Bella Earl, just a blow-by on that one and taking advantage of Southern Utah lacking on defense.
Martin will work on Lord this time. Height advantage, too strong. Troxel had the board, but up over the back, and an ACU foul. That's Troxel's second.
Sorry, Andy. Strong post up there for Madison Martin, but just could not convert. As Emma Troxel calling for the ball, just over the back.
About a 3-second difference here, shot clock and game clock. Thunderbirds can really hold for the final shot if they'd like. It looks like Bellina will do that. Has the dribble alive on the Wildcat whiskers. 8 on the clock. She'll drive on Martin, contact, and a foul call. Free throws coming here for Delaney Bellina.
Smart take there by Milani Bellina. Just attacking the defender, making her play over-aggressive and getting to the free throw line, giving them a chance to convert and just stay in this game. This is damage control for the Southern Utah Thunderbirds as we approach halftime.
Stops a scoring drought of almost 5 minutes for the Thunderbirds. 4:39 scoring drought has just come to an end.
From the field, the Thunderbirds, one of their last 10.
Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Martin saves it into Hull, who finishes! Hull to Martin to Earl. First half ends with a flare. It's a 14-point spread for ACU, their largest lead of the first half. Coach Julie Goodenough is courtside with Courtney String. And Courtney, it's all yours.
Hi, welcome back with ACU currently having the lead. How are your thoughts on the first half?
Really good defensive effort. This is a team that has a lot of good scoring threats. I thought our players did a good job of recognizing personnel, making adjustments. So proud of the defensive effort. Took us a while to get going in the second quarter scoring, but finished off pretty strong.
And with Peyton Hall currently breaking ACU records, what are your thoughts on her performance tonight?
Peyton's just a bucket. She wants to score. She's looking for her shot. Not selfish at all, but she's really hard to contain. And we call a lot of sets for her. She's a good offensive player.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Coach. 37-23, Wildcats, a 14-point lead. Roman and Joseph, they will be upstairs with your halftime report. WAC basketball, it's here in Abilene, and it's here on ESPN+.
Welcome back inside Moody Coliseum. At half, your Abilene Christian Wildcats leading Southern Utah 37-23 at the half. I'm Roman Raffaelli, joined by the one and only Joseph Chapa. Joseph, what'd you see in that first half?
Well, it really came down to playing team ball for the Wildcats. That's something that head coach Julie Goodenough has preached last week, the week before, really all season long. We got a little bit of everything from Bella Earl to Addison Martin playing like Magic Johnson, Emma Troxel knocking down a couple of threes. It comes down to playing team ball. That's the recipe that they need heading into Vegas here pretty soon.
Absolutely, and team ball really speaks to the end of that first half. Had that really long pass, behind the head pass into the paint, phenomenal shot to beat the buzzer. Incredible first half from the Wildcats so far.
Yeah, and their defense is increasing and improving as well as they continue to, like we talked about even before this halftime show, is the zone, the full court press looks. We see right here contesting shots, chasing down the shooters. Southern Utah's got some great shooters. Ashley Banks can put the ball on the floor, does what she does well. But when you have Addison Martin here in the low post doing what she does best, it's hard to stop these Wildcats. It's really hard to stop ACU when they've got all these players hitting on all cylinders.
Absolutely, and we saw Southern Utah go on a bit of a drought there. Didn't score for about 4 minutes and 47 seconds to end that half, going 0 for 7 and only shooting 29% in this first half. So ACU really been able to play good defense and have that translate into the offensive side.
And if you're Southern Utah right now in the locker room, you want to come back in the second half, be like, you're not in that bad of a shape when you didn't really score in the last 3-4 minutes of this first half. You crash the glass, do all the little things correctly. Good things will find your way. It's how the game of basketball has always worked on all levels, whether it's college or professional level. You do the little things the right way, good things will come your way.
Absolutely, and it's going to be an exciting second half here from the 6 and 7 seeds in the current WAC tournament.
It certainly will be, man. It's going to be fun to see.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it from the desk here with us. Now to throw it to Daisy Strine and Emma Troxel on our ESPN Plus feature.
Now Troxel on a backdoor cut. Nice inbounds play. The freshman out of Bushland.
Emma Troxel, you are a freshman here at ACU. You've been a really standout player as a freshman. You've played in all 18 games. Tell us about your journey in going from high school to a D1 athletic program.
Coming to college, I was definitely very nervous, so I got in the gym a lot. Kind of prepared for that. But really, once you got here, the coaches and the teammates, all of the leaders on the team, like Addie, Bella, Claire, they all helped to get us acclimated into the sport.
Tell us about your journey in becoming a Wildcat and hearing about ACU.
The recruitment is really fun. They're really good at recruiting their players, and really they made me feel wanted, and I really like the Christian atmosphere here, so that's really what made me want to come to ACU.
What is the team dynamic like in your relationship with head coach Julie Goodenough?
I feel like we're all really close with each other. The relationships just continue to grow, and same with Coach Goodenough and all the coaches. We all just have a good bond.
You're third in field goal percentages overall for the team this season. How do you think you've been able to shoot well and be strong on the court?
Really, I've been shooting with Claire Graham. She's got me in the gym a lot, so I think that's helped with my confidence throughout the season, and then continuing to take shots.
With a bunch of conference games coming up and hopefully leading into the WAC tournament, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season?
I'm looking forward to us to continue to grow as a team on and off the court and let our skills develop even more as we go and just play as one.
What do you want your legacy to be as a Wildcat? You're a freshman, so you're still young. You have time to build that legacy and your character on the court. So how do you envision that over the next couple of years?
I really just want my legacy to be that I'm a godly woman, really just trying to do my best on the court, giving 100% effort every time I go out there.
And welcome back inside Moody Coliseum. 20 minutes down, 20 to go. We get ready to start the second half. Wildcats will start the last 20 with a 14-point lead at 37-23. So we welcome you back inside Moody Coliseum. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. ACU had an 11-point lead. Matthew at the end of one. Southern Utah gets back within 6, but now the spread is at 14. And Good defense by ACU, and Southern Utah just had a hard time scoring the basketball.
Yeah, and Southern Utah really lost momentum there in this last 2 minutes of that second half. Obviously, this technical foul with about 1:30 left resulted in a 5-point swing, and then ACU has just been converting off turnovers. 6 points off turnovers for ACU to Southern Utah's 1. And then additionally, ACU has been attacking the basket. 20 points in the paint for ACU to Southern Utah's 12. A lot of work to be done for Southern Utah and a lot of work to be cut out for them. This was the exact same spot that they were in last week against UTA. Can they come back in the second half with the vengeance and gain momentum in this third quarter?
Coach Tracy Mason, the technical foul that you mentioned, did not agree with Ashley Banks' third personal foul. Banks had a nice first half, 7 points, 4 rebounds, but the third foul put her on the bench, and there was the spark at the end of the half. Addison Martin, the over-the-head save right to Bella Earl, who finished with the left-handed layup to give us our largest spread of the night at 14-37.
What do they say? It's better to be lucky than good. And you see that right there. Just saving the ball over the head, and what a great finish.
Emma Troxel leads the way with 8 points. Bella Earl 7, Addison Martin 7. Zoe Jackson the early 6, Peyton Hull with 4. Wernley with 3, Traeger with 2. Again, Banks with 7, Johnston with 6, Bellina with 6. Quiet first half for Urick. 1 of 7 shooting, just 2 points in 17 minutes.
That was a good defensive adjustment by Southern Utah, going and doubling Addison Martin, forcing her to make another player beat them. Alexa Lord going on the double team there and forcing Addison Martin into a tough shot. She just never saw it coming.
The bad pass will give it back to the Wildcats. Turnover number 7. Pretty clean first half. ACU just 4 turnovers. Southern Utah was 7. Just a matter of shooting the basketballs. SUU 9 of 31, 29%. Traeger will drive on Lord. There's another board for Banks, who's back in. Again with the 3 fouls, so she'll have to be careful, but certainly a presence for the Thunderbirds in the paint.
Back-to-back stops on defense for Southern Utah. A great start in this first minute for the third quarter.
Bellina one-on-one with Traeger. A jump stop. Gets the unkind bounce, but possession will stay here on the offensive end.
Crowd did not agree with that out-of-bounds call on the Wildcats as the possession will stay with Southern Utah. But that's a huge momentum decision right there from that referee for the Southern Utah Thunderbirds.
And the Wildcats trying to punch their ticket to Las Vegas. That's the shot that Banks does not shoot often, just her 7th three-point attempt. A win tonight, and according to my records, I don't know if it's official or not, but I think the Wildcats clinch with a win tonight. It'll be their 8th win. The maximum that Tarleton or Southern Utah could get would be 7. Along with the other teams, Utah Valley and Seattle U, the maximum they could get would be 7. So that would be at least 3 teams that could not catch the Wildcats in the standings. Only 3 teams that don't make it. So a win tonight, and ACU makes their way to Las Vegas.
One thing ACU can't do in their next 2 games here is go 0-2. They want to make a WAC tournament.
Utah Tech will be here on Saturday afternoon. It's another turnover, pass too high for Bellina. For Southern Utah, still the opportunity to finish in the top 8. They'll make their way to Tarleton Saturday. Southern Utah at 5-11, Tarleton at 4-12, so plenty on the line Saturday at Stephenville. And then another weekend, 2 more games for everybody next week. Nice lob. Traeger will finish with the left hand.
Good cut there by Traeger, setting the off-ball screen and slipping immediately to the basket. Defense was confused as they left the lane wide open. And that's just a sign of good team chemistry right there between the 2 teammates.
Johnston made 2 triples in the first half. We'll find Banks trying the high-low. Lord, a mismatch with Jackson. She's got it. Pass stolen, though, by Earl. Chance to run. Bounce pass to Hull, who finishes. And a timeout, Tracy Mason and the Thunderbirds. Bella Earl, the assist, the team leader. Peyton Hull, the team leader in scoring. It's an 18-point lead in Abilene.
The Fieldhouse, where the goal is better, whether it's body composition improvement, athletic performance, mental fortitude, or quality of life. Better looks different for everyone. With the help of our qualified staff, we will be there to guide you, to keep you accountable, and to help you recover, whatever better looks like for you. Come see us at the Fieldhouse, 1609 Conwood Street, right off of Treadway.
Point spread, Wildcats on top of Southern Utah. Andy Penny alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. The largest lead here for the Wildcats now at 18, 41-23. Bella Earl had the steal, the coast-to-coast 2-on-1. Peyton Hull the finish. Peyton Hull with 6 points now tonight. The team leader in scoring for the Wildcats at 15.2 a game. She's been in double figures all 16 WAC games. So trying to get there for game number 17. She's got 6.
She was the beneficiary of a great play here from Bella Earl. Trying to get that high-low action. A tough pass there from Alexa Lord. Bella Earl sprinting down the floor, finding her teammate Peyton Hall as she gets her 6th point like you mentioned. That's the perfect way to start a second half for the Wildcats. That definitely makes Coach Julie Goodenough happy there, watching that play out.
Earl's 3rd assist tonight. She has 96 on the year, closing in on that century mark. Again, Hull with 6 points. Been in double figures all 16 WAC games thus far. Molina 3, long, Lord aboard. And to me, Peyton Hull is the front runner for the WAC newcomer of the year in the conference. Of course, Gia Adams at UT Arlington has played really well the last month. Chloe Lemon at California Baptist had a nice year, but she's been hurt. But here comes Hull. She'll kick to Traeger. Trailing 3 is long.
Great decision there from Peyton Hall. Attacked the one defender, knew she had numbers, wing it back out. That's just a shot that you would like to see go down. A tough break there.
Thunderbirds have yet to score here in the 3rd until that entry pass. Lord finishes, great pass, Ashley Banks on the high-low.
Good positioning there from Alexa Lord. Understanding that, you know, ACU's playing over in the post and fronting, so taking advantage of that, creating a passing angle and converting.
Lord has 4. Hull versus Molina. The help defense comes over, whistling a jump ball. Banks able to get her hands on it. Possession faces the Thunderbirds.
That's very high level anticipation there from Ashley Banks, but look at this play. Alexa Lord getting position, creating a passing angle. That was a good pass from Ashley Banks there to make him convert.
Charlie Kay has checked in. Second time we've seen her. Gracie Wernley, Emma Troxel are also back in for the Wildcats. Stoppage of play on the far side. The officials want to talk to the scores table. I think the shot clock still reads 30. A few of those seconds should have run off after Thunderbirds dribbled it up the floor.
This is a must-score possession here if you're the Thunderbirds. You can't afford to continue to go down here in this 3rd quarter if you want to stay in this game. Obviously against UTA, they found success late to stay in it. They're hoping to find that momentum again here as we move forward.
So again, looking at the shot clock, it still said 30 as Southern Utah dribbled into the front court, so the officials just want to make sure the shot clock is correct. They've set it at 25. It seems like everybody's content with that number, and we'll play on.
Past 2 possessions for Southern Utah have ended in turnovers. Can they get a shot off here?
They'll work Urick on the inside. Urick got caught. leading with the offside elbow. It's a charge. A frustrating night for Ava Urick continues her second personal. Peyton Hull take the charge.
Strong post up there, just like they got in a few possessions ago. And yeah, you're not going to get away with that one at any level of play. And that's a tough call.
Earl, a look at a three, left corner. Got it! It's Bella's first triple tonight. Fifth as a team for the Wildcats.
Good action there from the Wildcats and Bella Earl. Driving kick, in rhythm three, and that's what you love to see.
Now a turnover, Martin the steal. Hull leads the break. Troxel off the rim and banks aboard.
Good defense from Southern Utah, not giving up in transition, forcing Emma Troxel into a tough finish.
Earl with that triple, the first player for either team to reach double figures as she has 10. Banks a touch, double team, whistle on a jump ball. It faces the Wildcats this time. Under 5 minutes we go, third quarter in. Abilene, the home team Wildcats, in control. They've got a 19-point lead halfway through the third. 44-25. Wildcats in front. WAC basketball on ESPN+. 19-point Wildcat lead, as this one is polar opposite of these two teams in Cedar City a few weeks ago. ACU has been in control. They have their largest lead. Andy Pitty alongside Matthew Dela Cruz. And boy, Wildcats playing really well tonight, halfway through the third.
Yeah, the Wildcats defensively have been stifling to start this second half, forcing 5 turnovers in the first 6 minutes. That's really what you like to see if you're Coach Julie Goodenough, and less than optimal if you're Southern Utah.
Martin a jumper, no good. Troxel an offensive board. Bella Earl closing in on a double-double, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Pass to Martin. Madison left it short. Kay has the board. It's been a tough night tonight for Ava Urick. Just 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting. Urick has been in double figures 18 times, 6 double-doubles. She'll get the nice friendly roll right on cue. And she's got 4.
Great job there by Urick, filling that gap, passing, cutting, filling that, and getting that little mid-range jumper to fall.
Hull a triple right side, and Peyton's got her first from deep. Team leader in that category, her 66th three. She leads the WAC. 3-pointers made. That's number 66. Urick going to work. And tapped out by Banks.
And Urick, halfway through this third quarter, getting more involved offensively. Obviously, she had the miss there. But this is what a few signs of life from Southern Utah out of Urick, at least halfway through this third quarter.
Hull goes to work again. Spin, shot off the mark.
Tough shot there from Hull. Just trying to get going, only 9 points. And like you mentioned earlier, Hull's been in double digits every conference game this season, so she's trying to fight to keep that streak alive as we approach the end of conference play.
Turnover number 14 for the Thunderbirds. Had a mismatch. Banks at 6'5". Wernley at 5'9" was guarding her, but the pass too tall. But a turnover right back. Chance to run here for the Thunderbirds. Johnston, center of the floor. Finds a running Banks. Up and good. And Julie Goodenough wants a timeout. Even with a 20-point lead, unhappy with the last offensive set. And she'll take a timeout here to talk to the Wildcats. Great job, Ashley Banks, to finish.
Yeah, great run there from Ashley Banks. That's what you like to see out of your big men on your team, is a post player who will not only defend the paint and get a rebound, but will also run the floor with tempo, with urgency, and finish on the other side like that. A few signs of life for Southern Utah as we end the third, trying to scratch and fight back into this one. But they have an uphill battle for the rest of this game.
Banks still leads the way in scoring, 9 points, 7 rebounds. Has 1 double-double on the year. She's closing in on a double-double again with 9 and 7. Claire Graham is back on the floor here for the Wildcats. Boy, these starters for Southern Utah just playing intense minutes. Bellina's played all 27. Johnston's played all 27. Banks has played 25. Yurik's played 24. Lord's played 23.
Good job by ACU of taking advantage of that and subbing players a lot.
Pick and roll to Martin. Finishes and a chance for a three-point play. Bella Earl the assist. Martin to the line.
Take a look at this here. A little give and go action here from Bella Earl to Addison Martin. Fearlessly taking that to the basket, absorbing contact and converting to extend their lead back to 20.
26 points in the paint. Addison's into double figures. She's got 10. And the largest lead at 21. Trap on the far side. Johnston needs help. Kay down the baseline. Check out one more look at this pick and roll, Matthews. Bella Earl the assist. Good court vision.
Addison Martin fakes that ball screen after giving it up to Earl, and that's just a picture-perfect give and go right there.
Kay a jumper, too strong. Southern Utah's bench still without a point. The starters have scored all 29. Martin back to the basket. She'll face up. Earl aboard and two more.
Great follow by Bella Earl there, and with that offensive rebound, she is getting ever more closer to her 7th double-double of the season.
And another Southern Utah turnover. They're starting to collect. Turnover number 15. Bella's just always the right place, right time. Scorers can score, and a lot of the time it's hustle points. It's just knowing the game and knowing where the basketball is going to be.
And Bella Earl, with that rebound, did in fact get her 7th double-double on the season. And you're right, she just always finds herself in the right place at the right time, focusing on what she control, or focusing on what she can control, and that's her effort.
Graham a fadeaway from 6.
Southern Utah cannot get stuck in a late shot clock situation here if they want to convert.
Alexandra Eldridge, number 30, is in, the 5'8" freshman. Mays a steal in the entry pass. Southern Utah just 6 points in the quarter. Wernley a 3 and gets the nice friendly roll. Wernley the triple, her 22nd of the year, 33% three-point shooter.
And transition threes are not something that you want to shoot often, but when you get the opportunity and when they start falling, it's probably the greatest feeling in basketball. And that's a great shot there from Worley.
And one more turnover, the shot clock is off. Wildcats the final shot here of quarter number 3. They've outscored Southern Utah 18-6. They're on an 8-0 run. Earl will dribble it down for the final shot of the third. Wernley back-to-back trips. Mays an offensive board. Falls out. Earl at the buzzer. Got it to go. Icing on the cake on quarter number 3. Bella Earl with a double-double. An offensive board and a putback. Wildcats a 28-point lead. It's a 10-0 run for the Wildcats. In cruise control with 10 minutes left, 57-29 in Abilene.
House, where the goal is better, whether it's body composition improvement, athletic performance, mental fortitude, or quality of life. Better looks different for everyone. With the help of our qualified staff, we will be there to guide you, to keep you accountable, and to help you recover. Whatever better looks like for you. Come see us at the Fieldhouse, 1609 Conwood Street, right off the Treadway.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
Point lead for the Wildcats. They outscore Southern Utah 20-6 in that quarter. Matthew, more turnovers and field goal attempts for the Thunderbirds. 10 turnovers to 9 field goal attempts.
Yeah, coming into that second half, Southern Utah 29% from the field, and they only improved by 1%, but it's hard to improve your shooting percentage when you're only shooting 9 times a quarter. And yeah, 10 turnovers. Credit to the Wildcats on defense for forcing those, but that's just something you cannot have if you're Coach Tracy Mays.
Banks a foul here on the rebound attempt, her fourth. ACU shooting 44%, 22 of 50, 7 triples tonight, 6 of 9 at the line, 30 points in the paint. Bella Earl at the double-double, 14 points, 11 rebounds.
And coming into this game, the question was, can we get shots on every possession? Translation, can we limit our turnovers? And so far, they've done a beautiful job of that.
Only 5 turnovers by ACU. Martin, another bucket on the right side. Madison's so good with her footwork, especially with the dribble.
Yeah, we can clearly tell that she's been working on that in the offseason, and it's paying off here in a very big statement win for the Wildcats in this season.
ACU, one of those 8 teams looking towards Las Vegas, as there's an offensive foul. Of course, the way the WAC tournament sets up, it favors the higher seeded teams. The top 8 will make it. 5 through 8 seeds have to win 4 games. The 3 and 4 seeds have to win 3 games. The first and second place seeds get byes all the way to the semifinals, only have to win 2 games. But you just want a chance at the dance. You have to get to Las Vegas first. So Grand Canyon and California Baptist more than likely will finish 1-2. There's Jurek Long on a 3. UT Arlington playing really well. Them and SFA and Utah Tech battling for 3, 4, 5. Traeger an offensive board. It'll go to the visitors.
And that was a crazy sequence there from the Wildcats. Claire Traeger, great rebound, but great defense.
And don't forget, on Wednesdays, Julie Goodenough will give you a look at the program, the Julie Goodenough Show. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on ESPN+. Always a behind-the-scenes look at what has been and what is to come. The Julie Goodenough Show. Jackson the steal. Of course, ACU, their 3rd year in the WAC. Each of the first 2 years, they finished at an even 500 in conference. 9 and 9 both years. Of course, this year, the double round robin home and home schedule. They'll play 20 games. As Hull up off the glass. It's 17 for 17, Peyton Hull. All 17 games in WAC play. She's been in double figures. Earl now the block.
Great hustle by Bella Earl there, sprinting back on defense and communicating and not fouling.
Now Peyton a step, pass, Martin fouled, free throws coming. Gets 17 of 17 games in the WAC. Peyton Hull is into double figures. She's got 11.
That's a high level finish there. Good defense, better offense, and then Bella Earl sprinting back. ACU kind of got caught celebrating a little bit after that one. Bella Earl bails them out. Great pass here, and then strong attack from Peyton Hall. And smooth dish, sending Addison Martin to the free throw line.
This lead has swelled to 33. A 2-point game in Utah, a 34-point Wildcat lead here in Abilene.
This just shows how the Wildcats have improved through the course of this season thus far, and it shows on the scoreboard here in this matchup.
Belina fouled on her way to the rim. Kennedy Rising, the 5'11 junior who just checked in for the Wildcats, wears number 4, picks up the foul. Kennedy from Rapid City, South Dakota. And Belina the shot up and good. Belina from Kent, Washington, again the 5'8 senior. 5th in the WAC in scoring at 15.5. Just 2 for 16 from the field tonight. The free throws give her 7.
Those were only the 6th free throws from Southern Utah tonight. Great job by the Wildcats limiting their fouls down the stretch here.
Brooke Jessen is also in. She's got a touch. The shot up and good. Whistle on a charge call prior to the shot. So take the bucket off the board. Zoe Jackson to charge.
Take a look here from Zoe Jackson. Great rotation there from, I think that was Alexa Lord maybe. That's how you get a defensive stop for Southern Utah.
Timeout on the floor, 7:25 remaining. Wildcats closing in on win number 8 in the WAC here in Abilene. 2-point lead. Again, Brooke Jessen is on the floor here for ACU, the 6'1" senior, the transfer from UTRGV. She'll get some minutes here down the stretch. Eldridge an attack, a whistle and a foul, and free throws coming for the Thunderbirds.
Good attack there by Eldridge, absorbing contact, getting to the free throw line, and that's the second time this quarter they've gotten to the free throw line. So they've done a great job of just attacking and not giving up.
So Eldridge at the line, the freshman, 5'8" freshman from McLean, Virginia, made her way across the country from East Coast over to the Mountain Time Zone. 1-2 trip. And Kennedy Rising also in, wearing number 4. Bella Earl still on the floor, 14 points, 13 rebounds. Just 5 assists. Don't know if she'll get to triple-double status. She's been there twice this year. It is her 7th double-double. Wernley with 10 on the clock. Rising in the paint. Hey, got it up and good.
In a late shot clock situation, those are the moves that you want to have in your bag, and that's a high-level move from Kennedy Rising.
5'11" junior from Rapid City, South Dakota, the transfer, Highland Community College. Belina a step, missed with the left hand. Boy, it's been a tough night for Belina. 2 for 17 from the field. Wernley gets a step, and she's fouled as Maria Garcia is also on the floor. Garcia, the foul of Wernley, and Gracie back to the line.
Good look here of that take. Strong take, not really fading away, and Wernley's really stepped up in this game and put in some good minutes, 6 points, 2 for 4 from the field, and 1 for 3 from the three-point line. She's been busy for her minutes today.
Make this free throw. You missed one in the first half and stopped a string of 23 consecutive from the line. But she's only missed 2 all season long. Now 3 for 4 from the line. Almost had the broadcaster jinx. But she got the roll.
I was about to get on to you about that one, but
you gave me the eye. I saw it. You raised the eyebrow and looked at me. I saw it.
When you're shooting 96% from the free throw line, you're bound to dodge that broadcaster jinx every now and then.
Eldridge will get back to the line as Jessen the foul. Final home game for the Wildcats coming up Saturday afternoon. Utah Tech will be here. Jessen will be one of 2 seniors recognized, she and Claire Traeger. for Coach Mason and the Thunderbirds. They'll be in Stephenville versus Tarleton. For those unfamiliar with that geography, it's about an hour and 45-minute bus ride from here in Abilene to Stephenville. So Southern Utah will make their way there and play the Texans Saturday afternoon. Rising on a backdoor cut, double team. Lord gets her hands on it, whistling a jump ball call. Possession will stay here with ACU, 14 on the clock.
Good backdoor cut there off that little flare screen. That pass almost went out of bounds, but great job of recollecting herself from Kennedy Rising and getting another opportunity on offense.
Graham left side, between the legs dribble. Now a step. And Rising a wide open three. Earl another board, and a second. And now whistling a travel.
Got caught trying to be a little too fancy there from Kennedy Rising, but relentless effort by Bella Earl as she got her 16th rebound.
Here's a look at some of the other games going on. Seattle U is in the Metroplex at UT Arlington. Big one in Nacogdoches tonight, California Baptist and SFA. Grand Canyon playing host to UTRGV, and there's Utah Tech and Tarleton. The other matchup of this quad of teams here, ACU, Southern Utah, Utah Tech, and Tarleton. Utah Tech again will be here on Saturday. Southern Utah at Tarleton. Great finish, Johnston with the right hand.
Strong take from Johnston. That is a high-level finish. Good defense again, but better offense. We've seen that a few times from both teams today. And this has been a fun matchup to watch.
Graham at the right block, and Claire has her first two tonight.
Good attack from Claire Graham. Kind of got away with a little bit of a travel at the end of that one. But if you don't call it, it doesn't exist.
It's the 9th ACU player in the scoring column. Molina back on the other end. Chance for a three-point play. And Delaney Molina, the first Thunderbird to get into double figures with the make.
It's been a tough night for Delina Villani, but she's kept her head up and she's kept fighting. That's that senior mentality. And that's what team leaders do. They keep your team in it. If she goes down, this whole team loses faith, and she's kept fighting today.
Her 23rd game in double figures. Get another stoppage here. The shot clock again did not start. So the officials take a few seconds off and we'll get things rolling. 69-38. Southern Utah's lowest output this year is 53. They lost at Stephen F. Austin 68-53. Still some work to do with 4:23 to eclipse that 53 mark. And the officials are looking at the clock on the far side. Just been a dominating performance here for the Wildcats with 4:23 left. Started quick, it was tied at 8. After that, the Wildcats went on a run, and they've held Southern Utah at arm's length and continue to build the lead.
And it really started with a minute and a half left in that second quarter when ACU got a few free throws, consecutive free throws, got a possession, took that 14-point lead going into halftime, like you mentioned. And in the second half, ACU's come out and been a different team defensively. They've ramped up their on-ball pressure, trapped corners, trapped ball screens, forced the Thunderbirds to be uncomfortable, and it's proven to be successful as you look at the scoreboard here midway through the fourth quarter, 69-38.
So we will step aside as we've gone under 5 minutes. 4:23 remaining, 69-38 Wildcats. And 4:23 left here in Abilene tonight. ACU in control. Of course, we're coming down the stretch. ACU just 3 games remaining. The final home game versus a Utah Tech squad playing very well in the top 5 of the conference, and at Seattle at Utah Valley. For Southern Utah trying to get to WAC Vegas at Tarleton on Saturday, and then home matchups with SFA and RGV. The good thing for Southern Utah is the teams they're playing are the teams they're competing with for those final few tickets to punch. Here's Jessen in the paint with the right hand, and Brooks got it up and good.
And with that bucket, Brooke Jessen just recorded her first basket of the season. What a play. That's one play that she will remember for the rest of her college career.
Wow, the transfer from UTRGV and one of the team favorites, Brooke Jessen. Now she's got a board on the defensive end. Ile Exposito Perez, the 5'7" junior, wears number 5. She's got it. Looks like Bella Earl's night has come to an end. The double-double, 14 points, 16 rebounds.
That's the most rebounds Bella Earl has ever had in a game. That is a dominant and impressive performance from her as she got her 7th double-double tonight, like we mentioned earlier.
Graham now leads the break. Jump stop at the free throw line. Claire Graham, the local product from Gymnett High School right down the road.
And that is probably the most fundamental play in basketball and the most powerful move you can never make. My coach taught me growing up, the most powerful move you can make in basketball is a jump stop, and we saw that right there as she converted.
Lord collects, missed. Eldridge the offensive rebound. Johnston rolls off. And here comes Graham again with numbers. Earl the 14 points. Martin also with 14. Peyton Hull with 11. 3 Wildcats there. Here's Ile going to the bucket. Contact, charge call. And Perez has the foul.
Perez just lost a little bit of control on her body there. Going to the basket, great job by Alexa Lord, setting her feet, not being scared to take that charge, putting her body on the line for her team, and getting a turnover.
Tristan Keller is on the floor. She wears number 20 for the Wildcats. Tristan, the 5'8" sophomore out of Mason, Texas. Meredith Mays also back in. Banks missed the first, gets it again, missed the second. And Perez has the board. It's loose on the near sideline. Last touch by Eldridge. Banks is closing in on a double-double, and she's back on the floor. 9 points, 8 rebounds. I think Coach Mason gets her back in to maybe give her the opportunity to get to double-double status.
Yeah, these are the games, if you're Southern Utah, these are games where you have to just learn.
Yep.
You can't waste failure. That's what the great Nick Saban said. You can't waste failure. You can't waste your losses. You have to learn as much as possible from them. And that's what Coach Tracy Mays is doing with their squad here late in this game.
Banks gets the block. Southern Utah, again, their lowest offensive output on the year is 53. Jurek on the inside gets a bucket. That'll get them to 40, but their lowest output is 53. Wildcats defensively held Tarleton to 51. That's the lowest defensive output for ACU. It looks like both of those numbers will fall here in the next minute and a half.
Great job tonight by ACU defensively, forcing 19 turnovers to their 11 turnovers only. That's great defense. Additionally, for ACU, holding Southern Utah to 28% shooting. That's almost better than forcing a lot of turnovers.
And Perez gets the shot up and good. She's got her first 2 tonight. The 11th Wildcat to get into the scoring column tonight, Ile Exposito Perez.
Claire Graham picking up a off-ball foul there as that Southern Utah pass almost went into a steal for Emma Troxel, but that foul will result in 2 free throws for number 13, Ashley Banks.
Rattled the first one home. There's point number 10. 9 rebounds. It's a quality 40 minutes tonight for the home team. Really what they needed, build some momentum with postseason on the horizon. Julie Goodenough has to be pleased with the way they played tonight.
Every aspect of the game plan had to be marked off and checked in the box for ACU tonight. A dominant performance on the boards. They won the boards. They got to the free throw line an ample amount of times. They limited turnovers, and defensively, they were unstoppable.
Perez a three, rolls out. One final push here for Urick and the Thunderbirds.
Urick, only 6 points in this matchup. It's been a frustrating night for her.
Trox to the board, shot clock is off. Julie Goodenough says, hold the basketball, let's dribble it out. 33-point spread. ACU led by 11 at the end of the first. Southern Utah gets within 6 early in the second, but that's it. Wire-to-wire victory for the Wildcats. They avenged the 2-point loss in Cedar City and move to 12 and 14, more importantly 8 and 9 in the conference, and are on their way to WAC Vegas Western Athletic Conference Tournament here in 2 weeks. Your final score from Moody Coliseum: ACU 75, Southern Utah 42. Again, the Wildcats 12 and 14, 8 and 9 in the WAC. Southern Utah drops to 7 and 19, 5 and 12 in Western Athletic Conference play.
It's a statement win for the Wildcats. Coach Julie Goodenough is going to be happy going into their final home game, and that improves the Wildcats to 10 and 4 on the season so far.
ACU shoots 47% tonight, 29 of 62, 7 of 21 from defense, 33%, and 10 of 13 from the free throw line. Southern Utah, 15 of 55, just 27%, 3 triples tonight, 13 attempts, 23%, 9 of 14 from the stripe. 3 in double figures tonight, including Bella Earl, 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 16 rebounds for the junior. She's courtside with Courtney String. Courtney, it's all yours.
You have gotten 7 double-doubles this season. How do you remain so consistent?
I want to take a moment really quick. I'll answer your question, but I just want to take a moment and give credit where credit is due and thank the Lord. After every single win the past 3 years, I've been caught up in the moment, chest bumping my teammates, dancing, laughing, screaming, and I just think, he's the reason why I'm here today. He's the reason I wake up every morning and I'm able to jump high and run, and so I just think it's really important, especially since he's like top priority in my life. I just need to give credit where credit is due. And for the double-doubles, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just working hard, going in and getting those rebounds, and my teammates are incredible at finding me on the court, so all credit to them.
And you only have 3 games left this season. How will your team carry this momentum over?
It's really important at the end of the season, whenever we're going into the WAC tournament, to get these wins and just work together as a team, build our confidence, and so this is really just going to light a fire under us and allow us to push forward and have confidence in the last 3 games.
Thank you, and throwing it over to Roman.
Thanks, Courtney. I'm here back at the desk with Joseph Chapa after an exciting second half for sure. Joseph, what'd you like?
Roman, you hear all the time in sports, it's a tale of 2 halves. This game was a true definition of a tale of 2 halves, and it was all led by our player of the game here this broadcast, Bella Earl, Miss Double-Double herself. She's one of the best players in this entire conference, scoring, defense, making plays, rebounding. She can do it all. ACU proved what they can do here heading into Vegas. It's going to be a fun next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, and she's complemented very well by this whole team, but especially Addison Martin tonight with another 14 points and a phenomenal second half. 20 in the third, 18 in the fourth, and 6 points allowed by this ACU defense in that third quarter, really propelled them into the fourth and able to finish one out really strong.
And that's what's different about this team, Roman, this season, is that Julie Goodenough's teams, threes, layups, high efficiency shots, but now it comes down to playing relentless defense, and I think that's going to be the difference with this young group moving forward, and it's going to be exciting basketball.
Absolutely, and they've got 3 games left until that WAC tournament in Vegas, and they look really strong and looking to end the season on a really good note. That'll do it for us. That's Joseph Chapa. I'm Roman Raffelli. Down to Andy Penny and Matthew De La Cruz.
Roman, Joseph, great job upstairs, great job all the way around for the Wildcats. 75-42, our final score tonight. Hey, this has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference. It's on ESPN. All games on the ESPN networks are streaming live. They're archived on the ESPN app. Until next time, for Matthew De La Cruz, Roman Raffelli, Joseph Chapa, Courtney String, and the whole crew led by Hunt Harris, we're saying so long. Take care. Good night from Abilene, Texas.